Thanks for tuning in. The point I'm talking about today is faith. What is faith? When I say faith, I don't mean the faith as in the Christian faith. I mean faith, the verb, as in what is believing. What is the faith? The Christian faith. It isn't just believing facts. Faith traditionally is three things. It's knowing, believing, and trusting. It's knowing the gospel, that I'm a sinner, God is holy, I'm guilty of sin before God and heading for judgment, and Jesus came to take my sins when he died on the cross so that a guilty sinners like us can be made free in the sight of God. It's not just believing the facts, because we read in the epistle of James chapter 2 verse 19, you believe there is one God, you do well. Even the demons believe and tremble. So it isn't just a matter of believing facts, just knowing facts, because knowing facts won't do you any good. It's like I could be on a train platform and I can believe that the train that I need is going to take me to Birmingham, but unless I get off the platform and get in, it won't do me any good. A good way of illustrating faith, trusting, saving faith that will deliver you and make you right with God, is in the 1800s there was a French acrobat and tightrope walker called Jean-Francois Gravelet. He used the stage name sometimes as Chevalier Blondin or Charles it would be to them, Blondin. And he toured North America on several occasions, and he was a famous tightrope walker. That was one of his special tricks, and it was hundreds of feet up, so if you fall over, obviously you're going to be washed away, dead, no question. And one occasion he pushed a wheelbarrow across Niagara Falls, and obviously there was a big audience there, and he said to a man in the crowd, he said, do you believe that I can push a man across the Niagara Falls in a wheelbarrow? And the man said, yes. And Blondin says, get in. And the man says, no fear. And in many ways you couldn't doubt that man. You could fully understand why that man is not going to get in, because say there was a gust of wind or Blondin sneezed or he got nervous, it's show over. But when it comes to the faith, believing in Christ, we can't be like that man who said, no fear, I'm not going to get into that tightrope, I'm not going to get into that wheelbarrow, although I believe the facts that you can push a man across in the wheelbarrow, I'm not going to get in. I believe you can do it, but I'm not trusting you with my life. In the Gospels, Jesus says, whoever believes in me shall not come into condemnation, but is passed from death to life. We can't just say, yeah, Jesus, I believe it, but we have to trust in him, because if we just believe it, we'll be the same as the devils, as James 2:19 says, you believe there is one God, you do well. The demons believe also and shudder or tremble. So we can't be like them. We've got to actively put our trust in Jesus, and we say, I know I couldn't trust my finest 15 minutes to make me right in the sight of God. I know I'm sinful and my best efforts cannot please God, so I trust you. I say sorry for my sins. I put my trust in that death, what you died on Calvary to take away my sins. And in 2 Corinthians 5:21 we read, for God made him, that is Christ, who knew no sin, to be made sin for us, that we might be made the righteousness of God in him. So when God looks at us, when we put our trust in Christ, God no longer sees us as we are in our dirty, vile, sinful natures, even those parts inside of us what no one else can see, but God sees us as the righteousness of God in Christ. And Spurgeon says, we can stand before God as if we were Christ, because Christ stood before God as if he were me. So we can't be like those people or that man that said, I trust that you can do, I believe that you can put a man in a wheelbarrow and take him across the Niagara Falls, but I ain't going to trust you. We've got to, as it were, put our trust in Jesus. But it's not so shaky, because Jesus is who he says he is. He proved that by his resurrection from the dead 3 days later. So all who trust in him are taken from this side of the tightrope, where everything's a fire burning, closing, coming upon us. It's going to destroy us, but he takes us to safety on the other side. So we've got to get in the barrow and trust Jesus. Thank you.